it was funny because about a month ago, a little before, actually, I would say a little before, a little more than a month ago, all right, there were content creators on the internet who will remain anonymous. I will not specifically call out any particular content creators at all by name. There's no way I would ever do that because that would just be opening a giant can of writhing worms that would come back to wriggle up my pants and bother me. Okay? But there was a group of content creators on the internet who were strongly criticizing Halo Infinite. Okay? These content creators were playing Halo Infinite and basically saying the following. Wow, it plays really good and it looks really good, but man, 343 Industries just has no idea what they're doing because everyone knows if they don't add a Battle Royale to Halo Infinite, there's no way anyone will be playing this game in 3 weeks, right? This game will fail. This game will ultimately be a flop. People will have like the hype for it for a few weeks, and after that, no one's going to play it. All anyone cares about is, is Battle Royale. Now, I came out at that time. This was before Halo Infinite multiplayer had publicly released. And I responded to that attitude. And I said, I just feel like there's sadly people who live in their own bubble and their own world. Okay? And very sadly, these people think that they are the center of the universe. And you know what? Considering how popular some of these people are and the insane amount of money they make for literally nothing, I'm not surprised that they have that attitude. Back 10, 15 years ago, 15 years ago now, let's try that again. Back about 10 years ago, when I was very popular on YouTube, I kind of had the same attitude. I mean, I was never as popular as these guys were. I never made $1 million+ in a year for, I'm not going to say nothing. I never made $1 million in a year, but I was full of myself too. I felt like my shit didn't stink. I felt like I was Mr. Popular and everything I did was right, and everyone who criticized me and said stuff against me was wrong. And I felt like I knew better than everyone else, and I lived in my own bubble, right? I did. I lived in my own bubble, and I felt this is content creation on YouTube. This is what's popular. I'm Mr. Popular, blah, blah, blah. I did. I was full of myself. I thought that I was the biggest, best content creator on YouTube. I thought that I was the most handsome guy on YouTube. And that, everyone, men, women, all over the world, were constantly desiring me and my content. I just felt that. I felt like that was me. I was the guy on the pedestal. I was the golden idol of gaming on YouTube. No, I'm lying. That obviously I never felt like that at all. But I did feel like my content was great and that someone shouldn't really criticize what I said because obviously I know what I'm doing if I'm popular and I'm making a living doing it. That I did feel. And I did have a chip on my shoulder at that time. Okay? Yes, exactly, Tony. I was basically had very bad narcissism at that beginning. I would say probably the years of like 2010, 2011. Wasn't until about 2013 that things started to change for me, and I realized that that's probably not a good attitude to have, and I should start to open my horizons to criticism and change and things. Okay, just being honest. I can do this now. Years later, I can admit it. Okay, back then I couldn't because if I did, it would have shown incredible weakness and a big flaccid member. But now I can look back and say, man, I was stupid back then, right? I'm very different today. Today, my member is not half as flaccid. But anyway, the point I'm making is that when you're at the top, you have this very inflated opinion of yourself and what you do, and you don't think that anyone else out there is even worth talking about. And I know because I've been there, okay? So I'm not necessarily saying that this is an attitude that it doesn't make sense that it happens, but I just think it's a wrong attitude because I've been there, done that. So anyway, getting back to the point. There were some content creators, some gaming MDs, who said that basically if Halo Infinite doesn't have Battle Royale, there's no way that Halo Infinite will be successful. Halo Infinite is going to fail miserably. There is no possible way that Halo Infinite would ever last more than a couple weeks. No one's going to be playing it. No one's going to be talking about it. You need Battle Royale. All right? Now, I strongly criticize this. And I said I really do feel that people right now who are at the top are feeling like the only thing that matters is their content. What they don't understand is that there's a giant universe of content and gamers out there that's not in line with what they like. Yes, you may have a ginormous audience of tens of thousands of people on every stream, hundreds of thousands of people on every video, and you might make millions of dollars, but this world has millions of people in it. Not everyone is in line with what you do and your content. Not everyone thinks that only what you do is good. In fact, I would argue, different strokes for different folks. It's good that there's a large number of content creators out there that make a variety of content, because that allows there to be enough variety that there's something for everyone. There may be someone out there who loves Battle Royale, and so they'll watch those top content creators play Battle Royale only. And if there's no Battle Royale in a multiplayer game, they don't care about it. Fair enough. But just as many people might be looking for a multiplayer game that doesn't matter if it has Battle Royale. I want competitive multiplayer, team-based, free-for-all, team deathmatch, objective-based combat. I like that, right? There may be people out there looking for other stuff, So, to say something as incredibly uninformed, incredibly ignorant as a multiplayer game, a first-person shooter will fail just because it doesn't have Battle Royale, is pretty ridiculous for someone who has the viewership, the reach, and the influence as some of these people have. And, that's another thing that I've learned over the past decade, okay, is when you have a ginormous audience, you have to be responsible. As I've said many times, people laugh at me every time I say this because they say, what is Phil, a Marvel nerd? With great power comes great responsibility. When you have a ginormous audience that follows every word you say and treats it like the Bible truth, you have to be careful about what you say. Because if you say something stupid or ignorant, some people might treat it as fact, and next thing you know, you've actually concretely hurt people, businesses, games, etc. It happens. It happened to me. 10 years ago, I said dumb, ignorant shit. And I feel stupid now for the shit that I said about games back then, because I feel like I did some people wrong. Really, I did. Okay? So, in regards to this situation, ladies and gentlemen, we are now 1 month after the release Halo Infinite. 1 month. Ladies and gentlemen, Halo Infinite is the top played first-person shooter on consoles right now. Halo Infinite is the 4th most played game on Steam right now. It's like over 100,000 concurrent players at a time. Okay? A month after release with no Battle Royale. Now, I personally don't know what kind of views it's pulling in on Twitch. I also don't give a fuck. No one should. Alright? What's popular on Twitch is not representative of what is good. And also, what's popular on Twitch is not representative of what necessarily is going to bring in money either. What's popular on Twitch, okay, is basically paid content now. And I mean that. If you look at the top content on Twitch, I guarantee you, if you look at the top streamers, most of them are doing sponsored content. Especially this time of year. This is the top time of year for sponsored content. Probably, I would argue, out of the top 20 streamers right now, half of them are probably doing sponsored content. Is that representative that those games are good and they should be judged? No. Of course not. So you shouldn't judge that way. Oh, well, Halo Infinite doesn't have Battle Royale, therefore no one's going to watch it on Twitch. I don't give a fuck. It's still the best first-person shooter of the year. Everyone's playing it. Everyone's still talking about it. In fact, people like it so much, okay, that they actually are very sad that there's not more content. They just announced that Halo Infinite is going to have new playlists available that are basically going to be, Slayer-specific, Capture the Flag specific, etc. All the game modes will have their own playlist. And then they said that basically they're working on new maps and things, but they're not going to have those out anytime soon, which is disappointing. The multiplayer's been out for a month, and there's been literally nothing new. Besides, the Fiesta mode, which was good because you could earn the armor, the samurai armor, by playing it. Now that's going to be its own playlist. You can play it infinitely, and whenever you want, you can have random weapon loadouts. But, personally, I feel that it needs more content. I think they should be adding maps. Maybe 1 or 2 new maps a month would be great, right? Or at least some kind of a spin, some kind of something new in the game. Right now, it's been out for a month, and they're like, well, we're going to add playlists. You mean playlists that should have been there at launch? That's not a lot of content. If anything, that's the criticism, the valid criticism that Halo Infinite multiplayer should be getting. That it seems like right now it's kind of bare, but it's great, but it's bare bones. It needs more content. Not, it doesn't have a Battle Royale. I don't know how off base you can be to say something dumb like that and not realize that you're actually being harmful to your audience and to gaming as a whole. When you have that kind of that viewership, that that prominence, people who listen to your words as fact, and you say something dumb and misinformed like that, and then you, oh, well. You know, it's completely irresponsible. And it pisses me off that people still do this to this day. But anyway, it is what it is. Halo Infinite's doing well, has tons of players, and people are craving more content for it, which I agree with. It certainly ain't Battle Royale that they're craving. So all those content creators who a month ago said Halo Infinite would fail, they were completely fucking wrong, and they look like jackasses now. But the thing is, they're so popular, no one cares. People will never call them to task and say, hey, you know how you were wrong last month? They'll and pretend like it never happened. That's what I used to do too. Whenever people used to call me out for my bullshit 10 years ago, I'd be like, what are you talking about? Oh, let's do something else. Change the subject. That's how you do it.